Hi guys, I don't know what Amy's trying to say, but welcome to Fuze Unbothered, brought to you by Upfront and Personal.
That's right.
This is where we hint you on every and anything happening in the world, globally, in Nigeria, in Africa, and everywhere in general. My name is Madichi. Of course, I'm not here in the studio alone. I'm here with
ABA Kings Holla, so daddy in the building. What's going
Daddy, that's right. Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm chilled. I mean, the weather is right, giving us the right vibe. I mean, it's been raining all week. It's been raining cat and dog, fire and brimstone, and people are knowing the kind of area that they built houses or they rented apartment in, if it is worth what they're paying.
Yeah, I totally agree. Making up for the traffic and fuel has been a big deal in Nigeria. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, at the end of the day, the masses just get to be on the receiving end because, what's it called? The prices of transportation will triple.
Yeah,
you get me. So, but then again, Nigerians.
I'm sure you all remember the I think Kunle guy, I can't remember his name now, who went from London from Lagos. He traveled from London to Lagos.
Yeah, was he the guy on bike?
Yeah, the one on bike. If you guys remember, he was traveled from Lagos.
From London to Lagos. He said
London to Lagos.
Yeah, London to Lagos or something.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about someone who actually took the courage to do something more courageous, if I'll put it that way. But we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be spilling the tea.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
Okay, so Abby, I'm sure you've seen the video that went viral this morning of a man who actually went all the way from Cape Town in South Africa to Mecca. We've seen a couple of people do this in the past. I mean, sometimes 2010, we had two guys who also cycled from South Africa to Mecca as well. So according to them, I feel like they have this certain relationship they get once they get to Mecca. I mean, when they do that kind of thing, they have this certain relationship, which I actually admire in the Islam religion. I don't know if you've noticed that they don't take when it comes to their religion, they take it very seriously.
I believe that
they take it very seriously. I remember when I was serving in Kebbi, when I would probably go to buy something and we hear when it's time for their prayers, regardless of whatever is happening there, they drop their market and they leave. So it's not even a case of, are they going to steal from me or anything? That's how much they value their religion. And now, this young man who said he treks all the way, he didn't enter bike or he didn't fly, he trekked.
Well, he said, I like the fact that he said.
He said he trekked since 2018.
Thank you.
That's quite unbelievable. I don't know, I'm still very shocked.
Assalamu alaikum. So that's Brother Shahid. He's from Cape Town and he walked all the way to Mecca. It took him 3 years, mashallah, and he's been through Africa from southernmost to the northernmost, mashallah. Brother, how long are you going to be here for?
Inshallah, I'm here for Hajj, so after Hajj I will continue my journey back, inshallah.
Are you walking back?
Inshallah. I left South Africa on the 30th of August 2018. Leaving South Africa via Zimbabwe, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya.
What happened during the COVID time?
Sudan, Egypt, Gaza, Palestine, and then when I want to leave Palestine, they closed the borders during the COVID.
Mr. Paul Walker, that you are walking all the way from Cape Town, South Africa to Mecca. I don't know. First of all, I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Do you think someone would just
I'm not even sorry.
Do you think he would just come out to
even the guy that said
that kind of story?
Even the guy that said he was, riding a bike all the way from London to Lagos. Hello, if I know that route, like if there's actually a route from here to London, what are you saying now? What are you saying? Like, Oh, you guys really need to know that you're talking to people that are in the jet age, or like this.
So listening to that story, he actually gave us a breakdown.
Of course, they will give you breakdown now. Of course, they will give you breakdown now. So he's telling us that he's been working for how long again?
3 years.
3 years since 2018. So you
August 2018.
So now for that 3 years, you don't have job that is giving you money to feed, to sponsor you. The only thing that you are doing with your life is that I must trek from Cape Town to.
I'm sure.
And you are working every day.
I'm sure he had it in his mind that he'll probably end up in the Guinness Book of Record. Or probably get funds and all that. Like the guy who actually
for
went
3
from
years
London to Lagos. He said his main aim was to raise funds for his friend who he lost, his best friend who he lost to polio. So it's kind of raising funds to create awareness for polio and all that. So I don't think people just go on a mission like that because they just want to.
I want to know where they pass. That's my own. That's my own interest.
That's what we really can't say, which is why it's really hard to believe. But I don't think anyone will come out and fabricate such stories.
Please, someone can come out.
Kudos to you, man. But 3 years is no joke. 3 years is no joke.
That's actually.
How young Nigerians talking about how his tummy was still looking big and how he was still looking healthy.
He's looking fresh. And you worked for 3 years from South. Do you see Kenyans that are always participating in the Olympics? All those marathon racers, all those. You know, when you see them, they have little or no fat in their body.
Yeah.
They look very ripped, shaped. Do you understand? They look very athletic. Like, oh, these guys are agile. Their feet. No, there's no fats because they are always, burning calories and burning fat. And you are looking like someone that is that you have been cruising.
That ate one pack of fufu.
And you're telling me.
I mean, like.
Well, then again, I don't know what you're going to gain from that. But moving on.
Multina, share happiness.
Fuze Unbothered.
So I want to ask you, Madichi, do you think that skits making is super, and when I mean super lucrative?
Yes.
To the extent that
100.
within a few months,
Yeah.
you can buy houses and buy cars.
100%. I totally believe it. I mean, I was telling you back then that I had an interview with Macaroni like a few days back, and he was talking about how he always wanted to be in the theater world. He always wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But somehow he found his way into skit making, and he said that was the best decision of his life. Like, he has made more money than an average actor makes on a daily basis. That's how much. So, I mean, for him to come out to say that, it means that, so
I'm asking,
anybody making skit making, I don't think
can make so much money. Okay. I'm asking this question because, like, popular skit maker is Bayu just acquired a Benz, and this Benz that we're talking about is obviously over
34 million. That's a lot of money, guys.
That money cannot just come up from my mouth like that. Do you get? So I'm like, 34 million.
34 million is a lot.
Hold up. So I mean, because of the kind of financial literacy that we have in our generation, we understand that before you buy such luxurious car, make sure you have like double of that kind of amount in your account. So if you're buying a car of like 30 million naira, you should have about 60 million naira. That way, that car is not a burden, and you can actually call it a luxury because you're going to enjoy it to the fullest. If there's any maintenance fee that you have to pay for, it's going to come very, very seamlessly because you have double of that. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, I've also heard this guy has gotten a house. I mean, he has been driving other cars before, and I'm like, what is really going on? When he posted this, there were a lot of mixed feelings, right? A lot of comments. People said, "Oh, you have some other thing you're doing." Somebody said, "Sugar mommy somewhere." Somebody said, "Are you sure this is skits making, or you are using the skits making to cover what is the real deal?" And now let me link this to another skit maker, Lord Lamba.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the guy.
Yeah.
So Lord Lamba is also a self-acclaimed popular superstar celebrity. You see all the acronyms I'm using as skit maker. Lord Lamba just recently also posted that he's done with skit making, that he wants to focus on what's giving him money. Bros, can you actually tell us?
Oh, he didn't actually say exactly what he did not tell us. I don't know. I still think that some people are actually making it big.
I feel like you can tell the people that are actually making money from this thing because they're putting.
So where do you think Isbe got his money?
Is
his car from?
He's a businessman. I don't know what.
People just say, "Mommy, tell mommy, this."
Yeah, because he had something with that mommy, babe.
Anyways, all we can say is congratulations. We're gonna go on a quick break. When we come back, more tea.
I used to care for the world's opinion.
Next.
I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Maltina, share happiness.
Fuze Unbothered.
Welcome back to Fuze Unbothered.
Come back.
I want to ask again. I like to ask questions because the kind of things that we see online these days are very, 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 very triggering. Just last week, I saw a video of a guy. We did not see their faces, and he was, having an altercation with his wife because she had a daughter actually, and he did a DNA test and discovered that was not
his child.
And I think the child was way over 3-4 thereabouts. And he was groaning as he was yelling at his wife. You could literally hear his voice breaking. He was. When someone there's difference between crying and weeping and wailing. So he was groaning. There was so much pain in that voice as he was yelling at his wife. I was like, how could you do this to me and stuff like that? So this brought about a lot of mixed reaction. People were saying stuff like, oh, if you trust your partner, what would make you go do a DNA test? Well, something definitely prompted him to do a DNA test. Probably some travel kind of documentation or stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? And media personality Destiny Amaka came out to say that regardless of trust or no trust, side chick or your wife, the child resembles you, there's a look-alike, there's a resemblance, it doesn't matter. Make sure you get a DNA test. And it is easy to make statements like this, but it is hard to put it into action in the sense that, first off, DNA test is not so cheap. Secondly, it might scar your relationship with your partner, whether married or not. Because if you are doing a DNA test, that shows. I feel like it sends the message of there's not so much trust. Like the trust is not 100.
I used to be very indifferent about this in the past. Why would you want a DNA test? If you trust your partner, which is one of the criteria of getting married, then you shouldn't worry about DNA tests. But with the rate of a lot of basballs happening in Nigeria, the ones we even see is just on social media. We have a lot. For those who have not even come out on social media to actually lay their complaint, then by all means, do a DNA test. If my partner says, okay, I want to have a DNA test for my child, by all means, do that. As long as I know that, okay, I'm clean, I don't have anything to hide, that's fine. But like Amaka Destiny said, I'm sure she would have seen something that made her. Of course. That made her.
And she was really emphasizing on side chicks.
She even said that if a side chick has a child for you and you reject the child, most times it's that child that's actually your child and not the one you have with your wife. That's how bad it is. We've seen a couple of celebrities who have had issues of not having the same. We see a lot of celebrities complain about the same thing, about finding out that their child, and it's not just 1 year. You discover that it's like 2, 3, 4 years. A 4-year-old grown child. You actually discover that the person is not. That's actually heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
So by all means, please.
It might not always be infidelity that will make the DNA test not match. Sometimes I've heard of, you hear a lot of stories. You don't know which one checks out to be true. You hear there's been a baby swap in the hospital, sometime midwife kind of baby swap, and sometimes there was this time I was listening to a what's it called a space on Twitter, and someone was saying how the police were dealing with issues of midwife, what's it called, fraud, paternity fraud, and so it's a whole lot. So all in all, if you have the balls,
please go ahead
and do the DNA test. This is where we have to wrap up on the show, guys.
Before we go, we'd like to say a very big congratulations
to Solomon Buchi.
He just got engaged.
Oh, that's a big deal.
I'm so excited because there's a lot of controversy about Solomon Buchi, about being
straight or not straight.
Exactly. But finally, and she's so pretty, I must say.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's so pretty. Finally.
Congratulations, Solomon Buchi. Call me. All
right, guys, that's much we can take today on Fuze Unbothered. Don't forget to join the conversation. Do follow us on Instagram at Fuze Local, on YouTube at The Fuze. Follow me on all social media platforms at _Madichi.
And me at AB_AKYNZ. That's AB_Akins. Holla, baby. That's how we do it. Do not forget to love yourself. Do what makes you happy. And from me and Madichi,
stay fused.
It's crazy.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.